What is going on, Pokemoshpit? This is Chimpact, and I got an RU match against sharpedophile, and this is a very close match, so I hope you guys stick around and watch it all. So anyways, he's actually going to lead out with a Dusknoir, and I'm going to lead out with my Currents, my Drapion. And I'm just going to set up my layer of Tiger Spikes first turn because he doesn't really have any spinners or Pokemon to absorb the Tiger Spikes, and he has a lot of Pokemon vulnerable to the poison from Tiger Spikes. So he's actually going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. I do carry Taunt, but I figured it doesn't really matter if he burns me, because I do carry Audino and I do have Heal Bell on it, so it doesn't really matter if he does burn me. And I'm going to switch out and go out to my Gligar, expecting him to go for the Nightshade, but instead he's going to double switch and go out into his Whimsicott, which is no big deal because Gligar doesn't really have a bad matchup against Whimsicott. Whimsicott is just there to annoy and doesn't really have any entry hazard, so he's not really going to scare me away. I actually went for the knockoff and over the Stealth Rock because I thought he would carry the taunt. And now I'm going to switch out, expecting him to go for non-core to make me locked into the knockoff. So I'm going to switch out to my Druddigon. And I know Dragon Claw is going to do a good amount of damage to this Whimsicott, especially with the recoil with Toxic Spikes and him having no leftovers. So instead he's actually going to go for the Toxic, which is not going to be a problem. And I really need to get my Heal Ball off as a priority because two of my Pokemon are status, and that's not a good look. So he's going to switch out into his Steelix right here. I'm going to double switch, expecting him to switch out and save his Whimsicott for later. And even if he didn't switch out, I would still do damage with Poison. So I'm actually going to go for the knockoff because the Not Specs nickname was kind of throwing me off right there. And he's actually going to go for the Heavy Slam, and that's not going to be a 2-hit KO, so I'm going to stay in and go for a Stealth Rock over the Roost. And he's actually going to go for the Dragon Tail, which is kind of interesting. And because that Heavy Slam did that much damage, I actually thought that this thing was max attack because of the sheer amount of damage that did. I don't carry any defense EVs on my Gligar. Actually, I do carry 4 defense EVs, but my Gligar is max attack, or max HP, max special defense. So he does Dragon Tail me out into my Audino, and I was kind of scared of him going for the Heavy Slam, but I really should have just stayed and went for a Wish or something. But anyways, he's going to go out to his Lantern, and I'm just going to stay in because I know that even if he does carry the Ice Beam, I'm going to be able to take it well, because unless his Lantern is offensive, then the Ice Beam is not going to deal a lot of damage. So I do take that Ice Beam really well, and right here I make a kind of a misplay. He's actually going to withdraw his Lantern, expecting me to go for the Sucker Punch, and I do go for the Sucker Punch, and that is going to suck because I just take extra Toxic Recoil. So I'm sitting at 80 HP, so I'm going to switch out just to save my Druddigon later for maybe Rough Skin damage, because I do carry Rocky Helmet as well, so that's 30% automatically for just touching me. So he's going to go for the Earthquake, probably because he didn't want to go for the Heavy Slam and touch me, I guess, but I'm just going to go for the Heal Bell to get rid of the poisoning and the burn from my Drapion. And he's actually going to go for the Heavy Slam, and that's going to deal a good amount of damage to my Audino. But luckily for me, I do have the Regenerator, so I'm able to take some extra attacks from this Steelix. And I'm actually going to go out into my Yamask Bro, and he's actually going to double switch, I think expecting my Gliscor to come in to take the Heavy Slam. But I actually go out to my Yamask Bro, which is just as bad because Torpedo still hits my Cofagrigus for super effective damage with its stab move. So I'm going to expect him to go for the Crunch, but instead he's going to go for the Dark Pulse. And because he went for the Dark Pulse, it reveals to me that his Sharpedo is entirely special. Because if he was mixed or physical, he would actually go for the Crunch because his physical move pool is a lot better than his special move pool. So he's going to decide to switch out into his Dusknoir, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to switch out into my Audino, knowing that he's probably locked into Dark Pulse because I didn't see any left for recoil or leftovers. So I know that he's probably going to switch out again, so I'm going to switch out just to get some Regenerator HP, and I'm going to go out into my Gliscor. And he's actually going to switch out and go out into his Whimsicott as Death Fodder, which is kind of a weird move because if I went for the Wish, then I would be able to heal up one of my Pokemon to almost full HP. But I guess it worked out for him because I did switch out to my Gliscor, or not my Gliscor, my Gligar. And so he's going to go out into his Sharpedo again, and I'm going to switch out into my Audino. He does go for the Hydro Pump, and I know I'm going to be able to take it pretty well, but it does over half, so I'm thinking that this might be specs. I'm not too sure of Sharpedo's special attack stat, but I'm going to switch out just to get a little bit more Regenerator HP, and I'm going to go out into my Cryogonal. I should have really switched out into this the first time, because now my Audino isn't quite at full HP, but I guess it doesn't really matter that much. And I'm pretty much just going to use this as Death Fodder because there's no use for this. Like, Audino can pretty much just absorb Hydro Pumps as well, and Cryogonal is my special defensive Rapid Spinner. and he doesn't really have rocks or anything to Ravispin. His Steelix could carry the Stealth Rock, but I'm not too sure if it does. So right here I'm thinking that I can easily live a Hydro Pump and go for a Wish and heal up one of my Pokemon, but instead he's actually going to get a critical hit, and that is going to really suck because no more Heal Bell, no more Wish, and no more Light Screen either. So I'm not going to be able to do much healing wise against this team because Audino was my main way to heal my other Pokemon. So now he's going to go out to his Dusknoir, and I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw right here. And Dragon Claw is going to do a good amount of damage, but I was actually expecting him to go for the Will-O-Wisp, so that's why I didn't switch out into my my big Drapion. So he's going to heal a little bit of leftovers, take a little from Poison, and at this point I'm thinking that an Earthquake from my Gligar, my Gliga Please, would be able to take it out. But I kind of overestimate the power of Gligar, and it's actually pretty weak because Gliscor is so much more powerful, and I really didn't expect this to do this little. So he's going to live with a little bit of HP, and that's really good for me because even if he goes to the Nightshade, I'm able to heal a little bit more damage than he would do to me, even with the burn damage. So that's really good, but instead he's not even going to deal any damage other than burn because he did go for the Sucker Punch. And it's 3-on-3 at this point. My Gligar, Cofagrigus, Drapion versus Lantern, Entei, and Steelix. So he's going to go out to his Lantern, which is kind of unusual, so I'm just going to go for the Earthquake immediately and just take it out right here. That was kind of a weird play because it could have saved his Lantern for later. But then again, my Cofagrigus could take a hit and take it out, and my other two Pokemon outspeed. So now he's going to go out to his Entei, and I'm fearing it to be a special variant. So I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to go out to my Drapion. But he goes to the Flare Blitz immediately, and if I knew he was physical, I would have just stayed in. But oh well. And on top of that, he's actually a Leftovers variant with Flare Blitz, so he doesn't really take that much recoil because of his high amount of HP. So now, instead of going for another Flare Blitz, he's going to go for an Extreme Speed, knowing that he's going to be able to take me out, and he doesn't want any more recoil, and he's not going to want to risk me being faster, even though I don't carry any speed investment on my Drapion. So now I'm going to go back out into my Gligar, and I'm just going to go for an Earthquake. I could have gone for the Roost, but I didn't really want to stall him any further because I thought this was going to be a lot longer than it was, so I'm just going to go for an Earthquake, and that did a lot less damage than I was hoping for, and I was actually expecting him to go for the Flare Blitz instead, so he would be able to take him out. He would take himself out with the recoil, but Gliga Please dies, and now all I have left is my Yamaskbro, and I'm pretty confident that I can make the comeback with it, and I'm really trying to make somebody mad today, and Yamaskbro is definitely going to be able to pull that off. So he's going to go for the Flare Blitz, and I know I'm going to be able to take that because Cofagrigus has good defensive bulk, and I am max HP, so I am able to take that pretty well, and it's only going to do about half, a little less. So I'm able to set up a Trick Room, and I am a Quiet Nature, so I am going to be able to outslow the Steelix. So I actually do carry the HP fighting. He doesn't have the Sturdy, and if he does carry the Sheer Force, then I calced it, and a Crunch is not going to be able to take me out. So I do go for the Nasty Plot right here, and he's actually going to go for the Crunch, and I know it's not going to be able to take me out, so I'm going to be able to take it out with the next turn with HP fighting, but he gets a critical hit, and that is going to be the game. Not the way I wanted the battle to end, but hey, you win some, you lose some, and this time I just lost one. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any constructive criticism, feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like, and if you guys want to check me out, my link will be in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.